Hi, I'm Teresa Bruno, and I'm running for Indiana State Senate District 28. My priorities are education. I teach part-time at a local community college, infrastructure, economic development, and also healthcare. I joined the board for the town of Warren Park back in 2015. And, there are really like two big complaints that you get in local government is the condition of your roads and also flooding. And especially in Warren Park, we have like just this one area on the parkway that always floods whenever we get even just a little bit of rain. And they've pumped out the storm drains. We've tried a lot of different things. And then so that's kind of like how I got interested in like, flooding and its effects on infrastructure because we recently had to get part of the stretch of the parkway repaved because it just keeps getting flooded over. And I can already see wear and tear on that. And I worked so hard to get that repaved. So so that's what I'm going to talk about, just like flooding and infrastructure. One of the really awesome things about running for office is I get even more excuses to learn about new things. And I just like kind of went down a whole rabbit hole for like 2 hours today. And it was just absolutely great. So flooding is getting worse. And there are a couple of reasons for that. According to Purdue's climate change impact assessment, since 1895, Central Indiana is receiving an on average 5.6 more inches of rain per year. And it's really accelerating as well. Like in the beginning half of like the 20th century, it would be maybe like a quarter more inch of rain a year. And then it's getting to be more and more. And also like sometimes, you in Central Indiana, it just seems like more and more will get like 2 inches of rain in like an hour. I remember, I think it was 4 years ago, and my tomato plants were looking so good that year. So good. And then all of a sudden we got like 4 inches of rain in a short amount of time, and there were no tomatoes that year. And I'm an Italian grandmother at heart. So it was just really, really disappointing. So, so increased rainfall is one of the problems, and also increased urbanization. And I really think about my friends. My district is very diverse. It's urban, suburban, and rural. In my district, McCordsville is growing really quickly. Greenfield's growing really quickly. New Pal is growing really quickly. I'm in their neighborhood chat groups, and they notice that when a new subdivision goes in, there's increased flooding. And they never had flooding problems before, but now they are, or it's just getting worse. And that's what happens is like the more buildings that go up, the more offices, the more roads, there's a less chance for that rainwater to get absorbed into the soil. So we're gonna, Central Indiana is going to continue to grow. It looks like, our rainfall is going to increase. And added to that problem is our infrastructure, and our roads are already in poor condition. I went to the American Society of Civil Engineers website, and they have a report card for all the states. And some of their statistics, where are they? And it was a little frightening, actually. Like we have like 1,435 bridges that are structurally deficient. And my husband, who's a civil engineer, was saying, if there's like a really, really bad flood, those bridges could fail. And my first response is, I don't ever want to go on a bridge again, but you kind of have to. And also talked about, the number of lanes of road that are deficient as well. And they seem to be all in my district. I tell you, I'm always dodging potholes here. And so we just have this problem, right? We're getting more rainfall, we're building more and more houses, and there isn't enough money for infrastructure. in Indiana. One of the things that I really liked is, and I think it'd be even the most cost efficient way, is preserving our wetlands, because they absorb huge amounts of water. And also talking about, healthy soils, and like having like a rain garden in your yard. And I'm in the process of doing that. It's basically rain gardening. It's just like a little depression in your yard, and you plant native flowers. And then like when it rains, like it's better at soaking up the rain. And so those are like some of the solutions that seem to be like the lowest of cost that you could do. Yeah, I went to some other like engineering sites, and they're like, yeah, you can really build the bridge up and make it super strong. But I'm like, where's the money going to come from? So preserving our wetlands and, better planning out of our cities and our suburbs, I think is a much cheaper option. And then really, making sure that all of our bridges can withstand a 500-year flood.